The studio microphone that you're about to record a future classic in doesn't care about your lyrics. It doesn't care about your beat selection. It doesn't even care if you have the most profound message in rap history. The cold, hard truth is that Mike only cares about one thing: your delivery. Just ask yourself, how many technically skilled online rappers with so-called fire bars are still stuck in obscurity while artists with average lyrics but magnetic delivery are selling out arenas? The gap between good and great isn't just measured in wordplay or metaphors. It's on how you actually spit your bars themselves. Therefore, in today's episode of How to Rap, we're going to show you exactly how the GOAT level artists give us a classic delivery on every single track. Now, before we begin, if you yourself are an aspiring rapper who'd like to immediately improve their rap delivery and get more personal attention, be sure to click the first link in the video description box below to get, as a free bonus on that page, our Rap Voice Mastery course. This will help give you even more step-by-step training than we could ever give in a YouTube video. With that said, let's get into the first style you'll need right here, right now. Want to know what separates the GOATs from the average rappers? It's not just clever wordplay or beat selection, it's their complete mastery over multiple delivery styles. When you look at the true legends of hip-hop, you'll find they all share this secret weapon. They can switch up their vocal delivery at will, morphing their voice to match any mood or message. And at the top of this vocal arsenal sits the raspy delivery, arguably the most revered and distinctive sound in all of rap. Here's what makes the raspy delivery so special. It breaks all the rules. While other genres obsess over proper vocal technique and preservation, rap's raspy delivery demands that artists push their voices into uncharted territory, far beyond the boundaries of normal speech or singing. Some artists are born with this gift. Take Jadakiss, who built his entire brand around his signature raspy sound, literally calling his brand so raspy, along with other legendarily raspy voices like Method Man, DMX, and Nas. Jadakiss came into the game with that natural grit in his voice. Funny enough, their lifestyle choices, particularly their love for smoking that ganja, often made their voices even raspier over time, but here's the truth. About 90% of rappers who kill it with raspy delivery weren't born with it, they built it. Look at artists like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and 50 Cent. Pull up their early interviews and you'll hear surprisingly smooth voices. These masters crafted their raspy delivery through relentless practice and dedication. So how do you develop this essential style? It's all about understanding vocal placement. While normal speech pushes air forward, raspy delivery requires a different approach entirely. Think of it like this: you're creating a controlled traffic jam in your throat. By slightly squeezing your neck muscles and forcing air through a tighter space in your vocal cords, you create that gritty, powerful tone that defines so many classic hip-hop performances. For up-and-coming artists looking to master this technique, the key lies in conscious control. Pay attention to where you're directing your vocal energy. Experiment with different levels of pressure and constriction. With enough practice and patience, you can develop this fundamental tool of hip-hop expression. It's not just about sounding cool, it's about expanding your artistic range and adding another weapon to your arsenal. But while mastering the raspy delivery might set you apart, it's just one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about another crucial style that separates the greats from the rest: the nasal delivery that's dominated the modern era. Let's clear something up right away. What most people call high-pitched delivery is actually all about nasal control. Understanding this distinction isn't just about terminology, it's the key to actually mastering this essential style. When you think about the most influential voices in modern rap, artists like Lil Wayne, Drake, Snoop Dogg, and Lil Baby all share this particular quality. Even Eminem, the master of vocal versatility, frequently employs this technique, though he adds his own unique twist to it. More on that later. The beauty of nasal delivery lies in its accessibility. Unlike the raspy voice we just discussed, this technique is something nearly everyone can develop with the right approach. Here's the secret. Instead of focusing on making your voice higher, think about directing your vocal energy upward through your nasal cavity. Imagine you're trying to shoot each word toward the sky, channeling your voice through the front of your face rather than your throat. Want to know if you're doing it right? You'll feel a slight buzzing sensation in your nose when you hit the sweet spot. That's the excess air finding its way into your nasal cavity. This technique isn't just about style, it's also practical. While raspy delivery can wear your voice out quickly, nasal delivery allows you to rap for longer periods without fatigue. That's why you'll often hear artists like Drake seamlessly flow for extended periods using this technique. It's simply more sustainable. The real magic happens when you start combining this style with other delivery methods. Take Eminem's My Name Is versus Stan. Same artist, completely different approaches to nasal placement. Modern trap artists have taken this style to new heights, with performers like Lil Baby and Gunna building entire careers around mastering the nuances of nasal delivery. The key to practicing this technique is consistency. Start by speaking normally, then gradually direct your voice upward until you feel that telltale nose buzz. Record yourself and pay attention to how your voice changes as you adjust the placement. Don't be afraid to exaggerate it first. You can always dial it back later. Think of it like learning to write with your non-dominant hand. Awkward at first, but with practice, it becomes second nature. But here's where things get really interesting. Once you've mastered both raspy and nasal delivery, you're ready to explore how these techniques blend into something even more powerful. The smooth delivery that's become the hallmark of rap's greatest storytellers. If rap was a game of chess, smooth delivery would be the queen, versatile, powerful, and absolutely essential to master. Think about the most effortless sounding rappers in the game: Jay-Z, Drake, LL Cool J, 50 Cent, Andre 3000. They all make it sound like they're just having a conversation over beats. But here's the thing, that natural conversational flow is anything but natural. It's actually a sophisticated combination of the techniques we've already discussed, blending nasal placement with precise air control to create something entirely new. The trick lies in finding the perfect balance between pushing your voice upward, like we learned with nasal delivery, while maintaining just enough throat support to keep things buttery smooth. Picture it like mixing paint. Too much of either element and you lose that perfect shade you're looking for. Take Jay-Z's flow on Dead Presidents. Notice how he maintains that smooth tone without ever sounding forced or strained. Or listen to Andre 3000 on Miss Jackson. His delivery is so natural you might forget he's even rapping. The real magic of smooth delivery comes from its adaptability. You can use it for storytelling, complex wordplay, or just riding the beat. This versatility explains why artists like Drake can dominate both radio hits and lyrical deep cuts using the same basic technique. Here's how to start developing your smooth delivery. Begin with the nasal placement we discussed earlier, but dial it back about 30%. Now add just enough air support in your throat to give your words some body. Think of it like adding bass to a mix. The key is to find that sweet spot where your voice feels supported but not pushed, projected but not forced. Pay attention to how masters of smooth delivery use it differently. Eminem's smooth tracks like Stan hit differently than Drake's Best I Ever Had, but they're working from the same fundamental principle. Start practicing by speaking your lyrics conversationally before you even try to rap them. Really feel how the words naturally want to flow. Then gradually add rhythm while maintaining that conversational feel. That's the essence of smooth delivery. Remember, this isn't about being quiet or laid back. Even aggressive tracks can use smooth delivery to devastating effect. But while smooth delivery might be versatile, it's just one color in your palette. Next, we need to talk about how to combine all these styles into something truly dynamic. Now we're entering advanced territory, the ability to switch between different delivery styles mid-verse, sometimes even mid-bar. Think of Eminem's Till I Collapse. Notice how he shifts from aggressive to smooth to nasal, sometimes within the span of just a few words. This is what we call dynamic delivery, and it's perhaps the most powerful tool in a rapper's arsenal. The kings of this technique form a legendary lineup. Eminem, DMX, Busta Rhymes, and Ludacris have all mastered the art of vocal transformation. Take DMX's Stop Being Greedy. He literally creates two different characters within the same track, switching between a growling, aggressive voice and a smoother, more melodic delivery. Or listen to Busta Rhymes on Pass the Courvoisier Part 2 Inches. The way he ping-pongs between different vocal registers is like watching a master painter work with multiple brushes at once. Here's what makes dynamic delivery so powerful. It keeps your listeners engaged in ways that a single delivery style never could. Think about it. Even the smoothest flow can become monotonous if it never changes. But there's a secret to mastering this technique that most people don't talk about. You need to start with the beat. Find instrumentals that naturally contain both hype and chill sections. This gives you clear cues for when to switch up your delivery. DMX and Busta didn't just randomly switch flows, they let the beat guide their transformations. One practical technique for practicing this is called punching. Recording your verses in small sections, allowing you to perfect each delivery style separately. Start by recording 2 bars in your aggressive voice. Take a break, then hit the next 2 bars with a smoother delivery. When you string it all together, it'll sound like one seamless take. That's the magic of modern recording technology. But here's the real key. You need to master transitions between styles. They should feel natural, not forced or jarring. Study how Eminem smoothly slides from his nasal voice into his aggressive delivery, or how Kendrick Lamar effortlessly switches between his various personas. Practice these transitions during your freestyle sessions. It's easier to experiment when you're not tied to written lyrics. The goal isn't to show off how many voices you can do, it's about serving the song and enhancing your storytelling. Speaking of storytelling, let's dive into our final chapter where we'll explore how to use all these techniques to create deeper emotional connections through reflective and thoughtful delivery. After all our talk about aggressive styles and dynamic switches, we're about to explore what might be rap's most powerful weapon, the reflective delivery. This is where legends are truly born, in those quiet moments when rappers bare their souls to the world. Think about Jay-Z's Soon You'll Understand, Tupac's Dear Mama, Eminem's Rock Bottom, or J. Cole's Lights Please. These tracks hit different because of their delivery, not just their content. What makes reflective delivery so special is that it breaks the cardinal rule of rap. Instead of commanding attention, it draws listeners in. This is the style that turns rap songs into timeless classics, the ones people turn to in their most private moments. Here's the beautiful irony. Reflective delivery is technically the simplest style to execute, but it's often the hardest to master. Why? Because it requires something many rappers struggle with: restraint. The secret to reflective delivery can be summed up in 3 words. Less is more. Less air, less pressure, less everything. You're not trying to dominate the beat, you're trying to become one with it. Here's a pro tip that few people know about. Turn your headphones up louder than usual when recording reflective tracks. When you can really hear yourself, you're less likely to overpower your own voice. It naturally encourages that intimate, thoughtful delivery. Think about how J. Cole uses this technique. His voice often feels like it's sitting right in your ear, telling you a story meant for you alone. Or consider how Kendrick Lamar switches to this style when he's making his most profound points. It's like he's pulling you closer to make sure you don't miss a word. Beat selection plays a crucial role here too, but unlike with our other styles, you're not looking for spaces to fill. Instead, you're looking for beats that give your voice room to breathe, that allow those subtle inflections to shine through. This is where all our previous lessons come together. You might incorporate a touch of raspiness for emotion, a hint of smooth delivery for flow, always in service of the story. The true masters know when to deploy this style. It's not just for slow songs or serious topics, but for any moment that demands raw authenticity. That's really what we've been talking about all along. These aren't just techniques, they're tools for authentic expression. Whether you're using the aggressive delivery we discussed earlier or this more reflective approach, it's all about finding your truth and letting it flow. Because at the end of the day, that's what separates the good from the great, not just mastering these techniques, but knowing exactly when and how to use them to tell your story. With that said, thanks for joining us for another episode of How to Rap, and we'll see you on the next one.